So you're looking to buy a guitar, but you don't know if you should get an acoustic or an electric. Well, I have both, so let me tell you all about the benefits and the downsides of starting on either instrument. Starting with acoustic, what makes it a good or bad idea to start with this instrument? There's actually quite a few reasons why starting with acoustic would be a good idea. One of those being that you don't have to worry about plugging it in. It's pretty simple, but you don't need an amp. You don't have to be by an outlet to play at full volume and to actually get a good sound out of it. You can take it wherever you want. If you're taking lessons, you just have to show up with your acoustic guitar or just wherever you want to play. You can play it around a campfire. You can't really do that with an electric, at least not as easily. Acoustic guitars are also going to be a bit more difficult to play right when you're starting out. The strings are going to be a little bit harder to push down, and it's just going to be a bit more painful on your fingers right when you're starting at least. But that's actually kind of a good thing, because then if you later on want to switch over to electric, it'll be a lot easier to play than acoustic. Whereas if you start on electric and then move to acoustic, then it's gonna hurt a lot more, and it'll just be a lot more painful to switch from electric to acoustic. Of course, starting with an electric guitar also has its benefits as well. One of those would be that it's generally just more exciting to play an electric than an acoustic, at least when you're starting out, because you get to plug it in, you get to make louder sounds, and if your amp has distortion on it, that's just fun and exciting to mess around with, even when you're just starting out. Even if you can just play simple stuff with distortion, it just sounds more exciting than acoustic when you're starting out. And because it's so much easier to press down the strings and just in general play an electric guitar over an acoustic guitar, you'll be able to play it for longer periods of time because your fingers won't hurt as bad after, playing for 5 minutes, so you might make slightly faster progress than if you had an acoustic. Something else to consider when you're making this decision is what kind of music you'll want to play, because that will have a pretty big influence on the type of guitar that you want to get as well. So for example, if you want to play metal, then an acoustic is not going to be your best option, and if you want to play more like, folksy kind of stuff, then an electric is going to be not ideal for that as well. So kind of picking between the two based on what type of music you want to play would actually be a pretty good idea as well, or at least something to kind of take into account with the decision, not to base the whole decision solely off that, but keep that in mind. Now there is also the option of a hollow body or semi-hollow body electric guitar, which would be an electric guitar with a hollow body or mostly hollow body like an acoustic. So then you kind of get the best of both worlds, although those would generally be a bit more expensive, and especially if you're just starting out. If you're buying your first guitar, you probably won't want to spend a ton of money on it because, well, you might hate it in a month. Who knows? Probably not, but you might. Some people do. At the end of the day, they're practically the same instrument. They're both guitars, and I'm sure you'll love either one, and you'll probably end up buying both of them at some point anyways, just because, it's nice to have one of each. Now overall, I think I would recommend starting with an acoustic guitar to most people, just because it's simple, it's easy to use, and it gives you a good amount of practice so that later on you can switch to electric and have absolutely no problem with that at all. There are also a lot of acoustic electric guitars, which means it's acoustic, but it has electronics in there, and you can plug it in right there to an amp or to an interface or whatever you want to plug it into to record or just get a louder sound. Let me know in the comments which one you're planning to buy, if you're looking to buy one, or if you already own one or two. Let me know what kind you have. I'm curious to know what you guys are playing. If you want to see more awesome videos from this channel, you can click right up here or here for some of those, and I will see you over there.